the original house.
Yeah.
We moved in as strangers.
We did.
And we're here living in the same place.
Again.
Still, damn.
Was that 7 years ago? 2017. 6 years ago.
6 years ago.
6 years ago.
That doesn't even feel like
we
6
moved in
years
as
ago.
strangers. We didn't even know each other.
I know.
That's pretty wild, huh?
First time we interacted was when we had that hot chili pepper together.
Which is on Netflix now.
I know.
Which is so random.
So funny.
In JC's vlog,
Yeah.
we walked in to Keenan JC's house, and he was like, "Oh, try this pepper." And then that's when I met her, and we both just like our mouth caught on fire, and we were like, like throwing milk down our gullets and stuff, and that's how we met.
Yeah.
Is that actually the first time?
Yeah, I think that was the first time we met. Yeah.
That's kind of crazy because it's in a vlog.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much like we all
Our
like film
whole
and stuff.
life when we lived at Sycamore is just fully like documented.
How did you feel that year? Like, because we were all that year, all of us were just like blowing up, like with stuff, with like views. Like you started your channel, like everyone was just like getting big, or at that point, like just boom, 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 boom. Like, what do you think back then? Like how that feel
During all of that?
Yeah, that was crazy.
It was really weird. It didn't feel, which is how do I say this? Hold on.
What?
I feel like it didn't feel like that because we were kind of in our own little bubble, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think I didn't realize how big everything was becoming even till the end of us living in that house.
Yeah.
I just felt like we were just so close knit, and you know, we were all best friends, and it was just us all the time. And I feel like I didn't really see the bigger picture, which is weird. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it was
so
weird
quick
because
too.
it was just natural.
Yeah.
Like
And I didn't think much of it. I was like, oh, I'm just filming with my friends, and I love this, and living with them is so much fun. And yeah.
Yeah, it was a while to be in it
So
at that
weird.
moment. And like that was like a time too when like David Dobrik and his crew were
know.
blowing up. And I remember specifically, I think it was Keenan or JC's birthday, or they're doing like a joint party at the house, and Dobrik came over, and this is when he was like popping. And I was like kind of like emulating his formula a little bit in my vlogs, just doing short and sweet vlogs. And then I was like, oh, I want to talk to him. And then I remember Corey was talking to him, and I walked up because I was like, oh, like it's my boy Corey. Like we're both like, I can like talk to him. It's a good in. And then I was like, oh, hey, what's up? I'm Bobby. And he's like, oh, I'm David. And then Corey was like, oh yeah, David, you'd love this guy's stuff. He copies you. I was like, don't say that. And then Dobrik looks at me. He's like, oh, right on, man. And I was like, well, not a copy. Like, I don't, like, I feel like I like teared up. I was like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, he like,
so funny.
and he was like, like Corey was laughing. He was like, yeah, he like takes like your vlogs and like he does like the exact same thing. Like he just straight up copies you. And I'm like, Corey, stop.
Leave it to Corey.
Talking. Oh my gosh. It was funny.
So funny.
It's funny now, but back then I was like, I wanted to cry.
Yeah, you wanted to scream.
But that's just so funny. And he didn't care.
Really
like
funny.
Dobrik didn't care at all. He was just like, "Oh, cool, man." But to me, I was like, But it was funny. It was good. But yeah, that whole time was just like,
that was insane.
it was crazy. And then we just kept all filming together,
Yeah.
and it just kind of like kept going.
I think that time was insane because during that time, YouTube wasn't much of a career. Like it was just like you guys, everyone. It was such a smaller community for sure. Where now there's creators left and right, and there was such a flow to it. There wasn't much of let me think of this crazy idea or this next big thing. You guys were just filming to have like for me, I was a viewer, so I was just watching your vlogs all the time and seeing how you could literally see how tight knit you guys were through the videos compared to today, where it's just. You know, the next big thing or whatever. So
Yeah, and I think because TikTok wasn't a thing yet too. So
Yeah.
I think TikTok opened that door to now the world has hundreds and thousands of creators everywhere, you know?
Yeah, that's insane. Because, that year when you started YouTube, like, that was just, like, a random, like, I'll do YouTube. Like, let's just, it wasn't because, like, oh, everyone in the world does YouTube and this and that. It was just, like, oh, everyone's doing YouTube, I'll do YouTube too. And everyone's asking for videos when you're in our videos. And it was just like a natural thing. And I remember for like the first maybe 1 or 2 years, you're like, how do I get my memory card out? How do I get my battery out?
I will never forget that. That
how
was
do I turn
so
on the
funny.
camera? I'm like, Franny, you got to know. Turn it
Guys,
on.
I still am so bad with technology. I can't even begin to tell you.
Yes, to this day, 6 years later,
No,
you
so
call me
bad.
sometimes, and you're like, how do you make a vertical video?
No, literally. It's so funny because you guys too specifically are always like, how have you made it this far? I don't know.
It's funny.
You know, obviously I have my friends that I'm super grateful for that have helped me and have taught me a lot of things, but I am just not a tech savvy girly. And what worries me,
Yeah.
what am I going to be like when I'm like 60?
Yeah, you kind of have the tendencies now.
You know? You know how like moms are like trying to zoom into something that you can't zoom. I'm already doing that.
Yeah, that is very true. Yo, thanks for watching. If you want to watch another clip, click over here, subscribe, and I'll see you soon.